And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm Troy.
And I'm Nicole.
And
we're them Swansons.
What up, baby?
Hey.
How you be?
I'm good.
First of all, let me apologize. I'm late.
Yeah, I took a nap.
I was having technical difficulties.
It's okay.
And I apologize.
I took a nap.
But
it's fine.
Your makeup look fly.
What makeup? This is natural.
Oh, my bad. She woke up like this.
Thank you, though.
Last podcast, we talked about...
The queens.
The queens. Oh, what was your feedback, love?
I didn't get any feedback.
Oh.
What you hear?
That's all I got.
Oh.
It was just a concert that you needed to see. Is there any review you want to talk about it?
Do we want to talk about the concert?
No, just a review of the podcast.
Oh, no.
Damn. You said everything that needed to be said?
Yeah. I mean, it was still a concert that you needed to go to for the culture.
Agreed. So, in today's podcast, we're having a interesting conversation. It was supposed to be a surprise for the wife. But we are talking about Somebody's Daughter by Ashley C. Ford. So, Nicole and I...
For those who don't know, it's a book.
We read. We enjoy reading. We enjoy audio books and hardbacks, but we've been in this audio phase for a minute now.
That's because of my eye.
It's a different conversation.
Yes, it is.
So, Nicole read a book, and we would discuss it every now and then. And she made it sound like it was damn amazing. I'm like, I'm going to read this book.
I don't think I made it seem as though it was like amazing. It was just one of those things where I've never had an author I really felt seen, and I felt like her thought process as a child was very similar to mine, and I don't hear that often.
And I was intrigued, and so I wanted to know more about you. So I read the book.
I kind of figured that's why you read it.
So here I am, out cutting grass, taking my time, because the book is supposed to be 8 hours long. But the wife has a hearing problem.
I have a hearing problem?
Yeah, she listened to these books on chipmunk speed.
It's not chipmunk speed, sir. Sometimes I can get as high as 2.6. And this particular book, yeah, I was at 2.6.
What does it sound like to normal people?
I don't know.
What does your mama say when in the car?
What is normal?
Touche.
But anyway, so I can listen to these books over two times the speed until somebody else gets in the car with me, and then it sounds like gibberish, and I have to turn it off. But if I'm by myself, it's perfectly normal.
Okay.
Yeah, she said, why are you listening to the chipmunks?
So, Somebody's Daughter.
What you think about it?
Let me get to it. I thought it was...
Oh, my bad, y'all. He got questions.
Okay, to answer your question, it was an amazing book. It gave me more insight into you. I only read the book to get more insight to my wife.
I know.
I didn't know who this author was. I didn't care who she was.
Shout out to Ashley C. Ford.
Ashley C. Ford. So, I honestly didn't care who she was. I'm just being honest.
Okay.
Because you said you felt heard.
Okay.
And you felt seen.
Mm-hmm.
So who is I to not go get more information about my wife? So I went and did the homework. The homework was listen to the book.
Okay.
To figure it out.
Okay.
And damn it,
I'm intrigued.
I was damn near in tears listening to the book because I know some of your history. And I was like, oh, good Lord. This is going to be an interesting conversation. So I've tried to save the conversations so that we can have it on the podcast for the first time.
Okay.
Until you opened up audiobooks last night. Could you tell us what happened last night or yesterday? What was it yesterday or day before yesterday?
I don't remember what happened or why I was on your phone looking at the audible stuff. What happened?
I don't know. All I know is
was it up and I was looking for something on your phone?
Probably.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
And you was like, are you listening to the book? And I'm like, yes. And then you start asking questions. I'm like, I can't answer these questions yet. You're like,
I
why
don't,
not?
I
won't say
don't. I
it.
don't think I asked questions last night. I just said, "Are you listening to the book?"
Mm. So I had a whole internal conversation
You
with
did.
self.
Yeah, and I know I didn't ask questions.
Okay. I have a couple of questions.
Go ahead.
The opening tone. What drew you to read the book Somebody's Daughter by Ashley C. Ford? And was there a something specific that you were looking for when you originally picked up the book?
Well, you know that the book was one of my comps for my book that
What's a
Chat.
comp?
It's a book that's similar in just a similar book to what you're writing
Okay.
for my book proposal.
Okay.
So ChatGPT told me that because I had a totally different list from what they gave me, that this book was one of the comps for my book.
Okay.
So I was like, well, let me read it because it was this one and The Yellow House by Sarah Broom. Read that one too.
Okay.
But yeah, so yeah, that's why I picked up the book.
That one was next.
But yeah, that's why.
Okay. Being the quiet one in the room. That was one of the big things that I heard when I was reading the book, is that you talk about being the adults don't see you when you're growing up. So Ashley said that she learned a lot just by being the quiet one in the room growing up. How did you feel about that?
That was me totally. I was the sit in the corner and read or play by myself kid. I learned to read really early, about 5, and I found that if I was reading, people would leave me alone. Although that's not the case as an adult, because people will still interrupt you. And I'm not saying that you're people or anything.
I'm the only people here.
You're not people. It's okay.
I don't feel safe. So, being the quiet one in the room, what were some of the things that you should not have heard that she discussed? A tear already?
No, it's not a tear. To this day, I don't think that I can share any of them here without getting in trouble.
They're not watching your YouTube page.
They not, and most of them did. Actually, all the ones that was talking are gone.
So give us one. Come on, pull this shit out. Just a small one.
Why are you doing this to me?
What do you mean? It's a conversation. If we wasn't in front of the microphone, I would ask the same question. Okay, next question?
Yes.
Okay, next question. Ashley's relationship with her mom was tough. It was tough love mixed with pain. Did that hit home for you in any aspect? Not necessarily being stuck with the phrase her mother, but that's where in the book it's set.
Right.
Did that bring any thoughts to you?
Wow. I don't believe I got nearly as I don't believe that I was hit as much as she was. And it didn't come from my mother. It was my dad. But him yelling at me was the same to me as being hit. So, yeah. Because, like I said, I was a quiet kid. I stayed out of the way. I learned how to read the room really early on. And as an adult, that kind of backfires sometimes, especially like with you, because there's some times where I'm like, okay, well, I think he's upset, not necessarily with me, but in general. And I try to, I guess, make room for that, and sometimes you're not. So it looks weird on your end. So I'm like, let me stop.
Okay.
So yeah, but I learned how to read the room really quickly as a kid, and I don't think my brother ever did, because I would be like, dude, can't you see he already mad? Sit down somewhere. But yeah, that was one of the things that I pulled out of being yelled at all the time. I didn't want to be yelled at, so I did what I was supposed to do.
Because she internalized how to kind of stay out of trouble real quick, and what to say and what not to say, and was like, she gonna get mad if I say this. So we're future casting into another part about I know what not to say and what to say, and my mama angry, and she gonna hurt some people if I tell the truth.
Exactly. Like, there are some things that probably happened to me as a kid that if I had said something, my dad might have gone to jail because he'd have flew off the handle. So I didn't say anything. So stuff like that. Yeah.
And those are the parts in the book that I was damn near in tears cutting grass. I'm cutting grass. I'm cutting grass until like this. What was it? Allergies, motherfucker. Allergies.
But if you notice that sometimes the goalpost moved. Like, sometimes she didn't know what exactly she was getting smacked for or what she was getting hit for. And I know that we've had conversations where I told you that when I was a child, I felt like most adults were stupid. And that's kind of why.
We still feel that same way. A lot of adults are stupid.
Yes. Yeah, we do. I feel that way, especially. But yeah, that's why, because I feel like if you said one thing, you should stick to that. And sometimes that wasn't the case. That sometimes that, depending on how they felt or whether or not they felt that they were right and my reasoning as a child was incorrect, then the goalposts move. And then I'm getting yelled at. And to me, you were stupid.
Agree. Next question. Reading about her dad being in prison. How did that land with you? And did the absence bring up anything for you? And how did it shape who you are?
The absence, no.
Okay.
But initially, if you remember when I first started the book, I told you that that's what the book was about. It was about the fact that her dad wasn't there, or that her dad was in jail and that he was about to get out. But then she tells this whole story before she even gets back to that part. And then you realize, that's not what the book was about at all. And I was intrigued by that until, I think it was the interview that's included with
the very end.
The Audible at the end. And she said that she felt that way as well. Basically, like, this is how I started and this is what ended up happening. And I'm kind of in the middle of that. Like I started writing one book and realized that's not the story at all.
Correct. Sorry, go ahead.
And sometimes you need to just start and let it go where it goes.
Yeah.
But no, I didn't feel like attached to that part. But then to find out what her dad went to jail for, and the fact that, all those years she didn't know, and then all of a sudden you have to flip and feel some kind of way. I think that's what I'm feeling now.
How so?
Because all of my life, my book is kind of about my grandmother. She was this person that was just a secret, and nobody talks about her anymore. Nobody mentions it. Nobody says anything about where my dad and his siblings came from, like as far as their fathers. They don't say anything, but to go back and realize that, well, first that I thought the line began with her, like she fell out the sky holding her babies, and this is what it is. But to go back and find out that My great-grandmother lived here with her.
Mm-hmm.
She has brothers and sisters. Well, brothers, I don't really know anything about a sister. But then my great-grandmother owned a farm, left her husband, moved to Carruthersville. All of this stuff that I'm finding out. And then that her parents, my great-grandmother, I found her parents. And then my great-great-grandfather, I found his parents. And now there's like this whole line of people. And now I have to feel like different about it.
So are you more upset that you didn't know about it, or are you...
I wouldn't... upset is a different word.
Mm-hmm.
Because...
Frustrated that the history wasn't passed down, kind of?
Frustrated that the history wasn't passed down, and frustrated that nobody else cares.
Because
And that if my other cousins know that they don't share that.
Because I think part of it is that we don't have the stories to tell
Right.
our nieces and our nephews.
Right.
We can just tell them a name.
Right.
And some of the cousins can't even tell them the name.
Right.
It is just what it is.
Right.
Because I have a cousin that even though our family line is identical, there's a split.
Mm-hmm.
And so he talks about when his grandparents were alive, and I'm just listening to the story, and I remember going over there a few times as a kid, but I have no reference
Okay.
because that's not where I spent my time. But he has that history to be able to tell his kids about it, and that's kind of where we're talking about. It's like the oral history gets lost over time. And then there comes a point to where you're like, well, the oral history is important, is part of our culture. And I think if it wasn't for the culture of who we are, why we are, it wouldn't be that important, and we wouldn't be... Frustrated is not the correct word, but we wouldn't be fighting so hard to find it, knowing that the people that preceded you were amazing.
Right.
They were business owners. They were this. They were that.
Or even if you didn't think, the people who were there didn't think they were amazing, give me the opportunity to decide.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think from what I've uncovered, the women in my family were pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm. It has to be, because you are.
Thank you.
You fit that mold that you didn't even know that was already set for you. It was there. Her time with her grandmother felt real safe.
Right.
Like a break from everything else.
Mm-hmm.
What did the whole part say to you about safety and love and the snake scene? How did you feel about that? How did you interpret that?
I'm trying to remember the snake scene.
They walked out in the country. So they were already on a...
And I say that because I've listened to 3 books this week, so
Okay.
they're kind of running into each other.
So they were at the grandmother's house in
Missouri,
and she was having issues about saying that she didn't want to go back to her mom's house. And her mom was like, come here.
Right.
And they walked out. And they walked way out and on the land. And the grandmother just started digging. And she didn't understand why she was digging. But then they found this snake pit. And the snakes were all just there not paying attention. And she threw some liquid down there. And she, woof. But she was saying how even though they were dying, they were still trying to find comfort within each other. And neither of them tried to get out. They were just burning and dying together. And yeah, it was weird listening to it. But then when she said, basically, that's your mother's love. No matter where you are, no matter how you feel, your mother and I are still here for you, regardless of if we're here or not, but that ever-dying love. But that's not how she took it, because she was a kid.
Right. Because even with you retelling it, I'm sitting here thinking in my mind about the episode of the Cosby Show when Bill was talking to Theo about his grades, and he was like, what if I have this thing and I'm not that smart? You should love me anyway. And he's like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life, because no, I'm not gonna sit here and die and burn with y'all. I should be able to choose and decide that I'm going to be somewhere that I deem safe, and not necessarily back at my mama's house getting my head busted.
You finna
for
be
dumb
somebody
stuff.
else's daughter.
Yes. Because I really felt like she should have been allowed to stay with her grandmother, and that would have definitely changed who she was as a person.
She could have flourished a lot differently.
Right.
The way that, how can I say this without getting canceled on my own channel? Some parents, your parents had a purpose of creating you by God. That's given.
Mm-hmm.
How you were raised and the people who are in your life, God takes people in and out of your life on purpose. We have a best friend that takes care of children.
Mm-hmm.
And we get the phone call saying, I got this baby. What do you think? Bet. Let's do it. And at the moment, we were, not we, meaning you and I, the person was the best thing that came into that child's life.
Mm-hmm.
She was exactly what she needed.
Mm-hmm.
The family that she had around her and the community she had around her was perfect for what the child needed at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because when society said, you're going back, we were so distraught.
Yes.
And it took us a minute to say, God chose you for the right moment, for the right time. And we felt it was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But the child knows that she is loved, and she knows what love is now. Because we really don't think that she got that before, because the parents weren't necessarily able to give her our version of what love is.
Right. Well, with the first one's situation, it was really early on.
Mm-hmm.
So she was able to pull her out of what she would have been in if she had been left to the people that she was birthed to
Mm-hmm.
initially.
Mm-hmm.
So she was given a fighting chance at life.
Mm-hmm.
But she was sent back to those people. And yeah, we still mad about it, actually. I mean, we understand that they're her family, but we still love her, and in our selfishness, we want her back.
We do.
But I understand that, but it's not the same.
Okay, help me out.
Not the whole snake story.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess it is the same. Dang it! But her going back to her mother, I still feel like she should have been allowed to stay with her grandmother, because her grandmother was like, well, maybe the grandmother made more trips to see them because she went back. Because I don't know how often she saw her grandmother before then.
Correct.
Or, while she was with the grandmother, it's not like they went back and forth. It was just...
Because I think the grandmother is mentioned, but the grandmother isn't mentioned this much until...
And I feel like it's her dad's mother.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. It's a different side of the family as well. And sometimes that plays a different part. But she was definitely willing to first take her and then send her back, because she knew that's what her mother needed.
So, do you think it was...
But is it okay to sacrifice a kid because an adult needs the support?
That's kind of where I was going. Is it selfish?
It is selfish.
It's selfish of the parent?
Because her mom started having other kids, and of course you need a babysitter. And I never agree with the people who say that my kids need to go through the same stuff that I went through.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with those kids because shouldn't you want better?
Yeah, I agree. There's a scene in the book.
We gonna go here? Go ahead.
I'm able to skip it and be okay.
Okay.
All right. Enjoying yourself. I'm gonna have to read this one because I don't remember why I wrote this one down.
Okay.
Were there moments where you thought, "This is my story too"? Which part felt most like your own life?
Yes, there were parts where I felt like it was my story too. Just her, like I said, the way that she reasoned with herself in her head as a child first, and the fact that the adults in her life didn't really understand her thought process and didn't even care or bother to check on her as far as that goes, because she basically raised herself.
Yes.
And
she always found a way.
Right. I identified with that.
Mm-hmm.
And like when she was getting ready to leave to go to school, initially I really felt like her mother was not going to be on board for that. But she was really happy that she was able to do that, and even came up with the money so she could pay for her housing and everything. And that kind of happened to me. I didn't think they was going to let me go. And it was like, wait, you going to let me leave?
Right. I was shocked too. I was like, because that's not the story that she was leading up to. Because
exactly,
even though it was never mentioned, you always assume financially that the mother couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing about the story that once you get to that point to where she says, "Oh yeah, I got you," it forces you to stop for a second and be like, "They never said they was broke."
Right.
You just assume that the story, because the way that the story is told, you assume that certain things happen. But at the same time, if you think about certain scenes, so even the scene that we skipped over, they had land to go to a garage, which meant they had a house, which meant they had a yard, which meant you had to drive, because they talked about other people coming to drive to the house and driving up the driveway and the cars hitting and then coming up for that meant they had a long driveway.
Right.
So once you get to the college scene, you like, hold up, they never said they was broke ever. And then them living in a generational house never was because they needed the money. It never said that at all. You just assumed that our stereotypes from our neighborhood, that if you're living in a generational house, it's because somebody's sick, somebody this, somebody that. But her going off to college, you're like, damn, they ready for her to go to school. They've been preparing for this. But because it was never publicly discussed, I don't think she was prepared for the response that she got. It's like, we're ready for you, baby.
Well, I don't think it was that. It was one of those. My dad was, I felt like he was only proud of me when I performed. Like, I got good grades. Like I said, I could read at 5. I came home from kindergarten that day reading, and it was like, look, my baby can read. And he would take me around to all his friends and have me read a book or whatever it is they had, a little piece of mail or whatever.
A piece of mail.
Yes, it was that. And so
this is a bill. This is a foreclosure notice.
Exactly. So my report card would come out and he showed it to everybody and he's smiling or whatever. I felt like it was that. I felt like I could brag on my baby. She done got these scholarships. She can go to school and she's going to be somebody. Unlike y'all, and that's the way I felt about it. It wasn't that I felt like baby, we done made a way. It was, look at my baby or look at my daughter. She's going to be this. And I still felt some kind of way about it. And that particular part, I could have been looking at it through my lens and not hers. I'm not sure really, whether or not that was the case. But yeah, that's what I felt it was. It was, yeah, I'm going to get this money for you because you're not going to be able to say that you can't go because I ain't had the money.
Yeah. Boundaries and breaking generational cycles. How do you think Ashley's story influence how you think about setting boundaries or have, and about raising the grandbaby differently?
Well, she has it's not an estranged relationship. She has a different relationship with her mother now. They'll call each other. They don't talk about like pressing issues. They'll tell a couple jokes to figure out that, okay, you good? And we get off the phone. I don't ask questions that I don't want the answer to. And that's kind of how I am. I mean, my dad is gone and my mom chooses to live where she lives. And I don't like to go over there. But I'll go pick her up. I take her to her appointments. We talk, and, if she wants to go to lunch or, if I can't make it, I've trained Desiree to be able to help her to do whatever she wants to do. And we're good. But there's some places that I have to draw the line because she chooses to live where she wants to live. And as far as raising the grandbaby differently, I don't know how much say I have in that.
Let's say you have all the say that you need. How would you raise it differently?
I would hope that we would raise her to not have to do that, to not have to separate herself. But if she needs to, I fully support it, just like I do with Imani.
Yeah. Do you think her moving away was important? Like when she left for college and she didn't come back?
Yes.
Why?
Because she had been away and come back before. Her mother was not going to be different. The conversations that she had initially with her mother after she's been gone shows that her mother was not going to be different. And not saying that her mother could still hit her as an adult because, might want to knuckle up and go and fight her back. And that might be why she didn't come back because...
We've seen this play out before.
Well, I wasn't there for that one. But yeah, you realize that this is who this person has been and is going to be. So if you can't handle that, if that's not a place where you are anymore, it's okay to move on. It's okay to handle them differently. It's okay to set that boundary.
I think sometimes with those who are closest to us, we have a hard time doing boundaries and sharing a moment. I had a moment with my dad today, and I explained to him something that I didn't want to do this weekend.
Okay.
And I explained to him why, and he was like, "You ain't got to do shit."
That's because that's Papa Swanee.
And I said, "But Dad, I feel this way because it still reminds me of her." And I told him about me trading. The only person I told was you. And anyway, I was trading and I started crying in the middle of me trading. And I just missed my mom. And
it happens.
Came out of nowhere. Turned on some gospel music. Yeah. And I felt I didn't want to suppress it because we said that I need to let it out. And so I just let it out. And I sang silently. Music was blaring. And I felt it. And I was good with it. And I told you maybe the same day or maybe just a few days later, because maybe it just took me a minute to process what was happening. But I told him, I said, it hurts being in that environment. And I am not ready for it. But the understanding isn't there yet.
Right.
So I choose to remove myself from it, and I take it at very small doses, like breadcrumbs, like less than breadcrumbs, because it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes those new boundaries are there to protect you until you're ready for it. And I kind of think that's where Ashley's story was going as the adult version of her, was because even the relationship with her brother had also changed. But navigating that, because when you last left, they were this. So in your mind, they're still that.
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing they've had friends pass, they've had this, they've had life. They've had life stuff happens. But when you go home, most people revert back to the last time that they saw you and treat you as that last visit.
Yeah.
And that's not who we are.
Right. Well, that, and in the Black community especially, well, actually, I think it's everybody. It's that whole, well, they're family and you should just let it go. And no, we're not doing that anymore.
No, because I agree with you. But I'm saying no, because we got some family members that are worse than a stranger.
Exactly.
And I don't appreciate being talked to some old kind of way.
Right. Because you can get it.
Because I'm not that kid no more.
Right.
And imagine if you think you're going to talk to your niece a particular way, but they got a spouse now that don't talk to their partner like that. And then that spouse stands up and now that spouse is wrong. It's like, no, player, you've been slicked mouth for a long time. And everybody knows it, but ain't nobody addressed it until today, but now you wrong.
That, and that I am not the same Nicole at all that I used to be.
I don't think, how can I say this pleasant? There is no way to say this.
Just go and say it.
I don't think a lot of people know who you are.
They don't. They don't.
They have an idea, but I'm about slick mouth. But you are just about it as I am.
I think.
Mine just shows more often.
Yes.
That's all it is.
That, and my level of I don't care.
You just walk away.
Yeah, because we made our own life,
Mm-hmm.
and I for real stay here.
We got no stress up in this motherfucker.
Exactly. So the fact that I stay here and you have no bearing, or you have no buy-in to my life at all, I get to say whatever I want to say, because whatever it is you said to me that caused my reaction, you about to get this reaction.
Okay. Perfect. Lead it to the next question. Did reading her story let you forgive or even name some of your own stuff? What shifted in you after reading it? Perfect.
It told me that I wasn't the only one. Not that I thought that completely, but to some degree I think I did still feel like it was just me, even though that I knew better. And that's why I said I felt seen. Like, okay, I can handle this. I need to rip the Band-Aid off of this and not allow the underbearings to drag me down as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because some stuff is there, and the fact that I remember everything for the most part, like a lot of stuff, sometimes it takes something to trigger a memory, but that memory is still there. And it's not like with you, I could tell you that you said something or did something, you have no recollection at all that this happened.
What?
Yes, that's the look that you have on your face. But me, I can look at a picture and be like, ooh, I remember what happened this day.
Like the picture we have downstairs that Kababi did.
Yes. Like, I know where we were, what was going on.
The one that you took your brother out of.
I took my brother and my mom out of the picture. Thank you very much. Because you wasn't paying for 4 people.
Yes, dear.
So.
I've never seen the picture with your mom in it.
Really?
Yeah. I've only seen the one with your brother.
That's because.
You touched your mom out a long time ago.
Wait. So how the picture is situated, my daddy is sitting in the chair. I'm sitting like on the floor between his legs, and my brother is on this side leaning down on the chair. My mother is standing straight up next to him like she in a Black Panther party or something with this red dress on. Mm-hmm. And she didn't come down to where the rest of us was. So yeah, it was easy to just do this. And then for picture's sake,
Mama, I never knew you was in the picture.
You didn't see the whole. Well, there was a whole post where my cousin, my mom's cousin is like, I know my cousin is in this picture. Where she at? Mm-hmm. So I had to post the real picture. I still have it.
I would like to see it.
Okay, you gonna put it in the in the video. Okay.
Both of them.
Okay, so yeah, but yeah, I remember what was going on that day.
Okay.
But my whole frustration with the book and all the things that I found out is that all of this shouldn't be riding on the memory of 5-year-old Nicole.
Yeah, agree.
Because there's people older than me who should have some stuff to add.
Should. It sounds like the conversation we had last night about missing family members in stories.
Yeah.
Just like it.
Yeah, or, even in pictures, because people would be like, well, I done gained some weight, and I don't want you to take my picture, and then you got 10 years of you not being, of you, and don't nobody remember what you look like, and you gone, and now we don't have pictures. Every picture that we have is you at 20, and you 65. No, stop doing that. You look the way you look. Like, I got this spare tire around my belly because I done gained 16 pounds because of perimenopause. But what am I supposed to do?
You still sexy as shit, though.
Thank you.
You're welcome, babe.
But yeah, it's crazy. You just be who you are.
Yeah. Let's say you had the chance to write one last page in Ashley's book. What story from your life would you add, and why do you think it belongs there? Because you said that your life kind of matches that.
I don't think that my life kind of matched.
The voice, kind of.
Yes. I don't know. I know that when she did go off to school, and she kind of found her people, mm-hmm. the people that she hung around, the people that that she deemed as her family. I did the same thing. I'm still in contact with a lot of people that I befriended when I was in Carbondale. You met a few of them. Mm-hmm. We went down to Nita's funeral, and really, Patricia was the one that gave me the piece. Like, oddly enough, the piece that caused me to look in a different direction as far as my research goes. Mm-hmm. That like gave me the most exciting part of the book.
You need to go back down there.
So
some time with them.
Yeah, so without those friendships, mm-hmm. I think I would add, I guess, more stories about
the college
her college and her extended family, and the what she found being in community with them as opposed to when she was at home.
Okay.
Or when she left to get jobs in other cities. So yeah, I would definitely want to hear more about that.
If you had a moment with Ashley Ford herself, what would you thank her for sharing in this book?
I would thank her for being vulnerable enough to allow the story to go where it went. Because I feel like there's still a story about her dad getting out of jail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the story that she
said
down.
That could easily be a part 2, and it could breadcrumb into pieces that she didn't tell.
Like, I don't know, like, because we're being taught by Lovey how to do the book proposal first. I don't know her process or whether or not she did that first or she wrote the book and then did that. But she initially sat down to write a book that she had to have wrote notes on. She probably had an outline. She probably had some chapters and all this, and it turned into a different story.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't have to follow that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad she did.
Yeah. Okay. If our granddaughter were to watch this one day with understanding, what would you hope that she understands about you and how you connected with this book? Because I think reading this book made me realize that when we are gone, a collection of books for her to read that we have read may help her feel close if we're gone. And for her to say, these are the actual pages that my grandpa read, that my grandma read. So how would you answer that?
That's an interesting question. I would hope that she would know that she has a safe place here. Because I can't control what goes on at her mother's house or at her mother's house or her dad's house or anywhere else. But here, we gonna make it safe.
I feel like you would be the grandmother in Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. I'm proud of you.
I found myself definitely being the person that I needed when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Like even for all of my nieces, of course. You know, that's why Desiree is here still.
Well, yeah, that's still today.
Because
How long has it been, baby?
it's been a minute. She's
Okay.
been here since what, 2018?
I think he said six,
Been,
almost 7 years.
She's been here almost as long as Photo.
Yeah, he ain't got much longer to stay.
Because shoot, I've been looking for somewhere for both of them to go. But yeah, but that's why, because like both of them at some point have lived with me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've always tried to be that person that I needed.
Is there anything you want to add, or any aspects of the book that you want to talk about that we have not discussed?
No, because in my head I'm mixing the three books together.
Go for it, because I can pull it out if it's the wrong book.
It's the wrong book.
Okay.
I've already remembered that it's one of the other books.
Okay.
But I just really appreciate the fact that, you know, she shared herself with us this way.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to meet her. Put it out there.
I like the fact that you shared how you felt about this book and how you felt being seen about this book, because it gave me more insight about you. Being able to damn near read you on pages.
Yeah.
Because the way that this podcast is going now is how we naturally sit when we're having dinner.
Right.
And it was...
Even though I don't think you have a list of questions when we sit down for dinner.
Sometimes I have a topic.
Oh, okay.
I do.
I didn't even know I was being interviewed.
Okay. Have you noticed that sometimes, and you may have noticed it more recently, that when the meal is being made, I'll sit at the kitchen table, and then you'll have your plate getting ready to go to the other room, and I'm sitting already, and I'm like, because the TV's there. But I know if we're in the kitchen, it's me and you. And even though it shouldn't matter, it's just how we just move.
I go to the other room because the stools in the kitchen are too high.
I can fix that.
What, you gonna chop the legs off of them?
I'm gonna figure something out. We can go stool shopping.
So I would also like to add that I appreciate the fact that you care enough about me to say well, she said that this book reminded her of her. I want to read more about her, or I want to find more out about her, so I'm going to read this book. That says a lot about you as a spouse.
Why wouldn't I as a spouse, though? I don't understand.
Because I'm pretty sure we know some other people that wouldn't do that.
We have recognized that we are a unique couple that also has problems. That the version that you see on the outside may not necessarily be the version that is what is behind closed doors. But we try to live an open life for both versions of it. Like, we're really not that different behind closed doors.
No, I know I leave the house the same person as I am when I'm here.
With the blue dress on?
Okay, I put on different clothes, but I'm still.
Or the black dress on?
I'm still me.
Why I feel like I'm getting side-eyed?
You sitting on the good eye side, so.
Take a look at me now. Is there anything else that you were about to... Oh, wow, this is long.
Somebody just can't take a compliment, but it's okay.
I appreciate it, baby.
Mm-hmm.
It was an easy read because we do share books and we do share titles often, and we discuss some of the stuff that we're reading, because a lot of times we're just excited and we just want to tell somebody about what we're reading. So why not tell my partner, like, no, she dope and she like reading.
It helps to have a partner who also reads, or who likes books as much as you do.
I appreciate you. I love you. If there's not, I mean, I love you, but I was gonna say I love you if there's not anything else you want to add. Is there anything else you would like to add before we get the podcast?
No.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us today. I'm Troy.
And I'm Nicole.
And we're the Unsaid. Get out.